Some conversations stay in the room, these ones don't. Welcome to the Talk of the Town by TheBlock, where we sit down with interesting people to talk about interesting things. I'm Nikki, your host, and today we're joined with Julia Upiterskaya. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So just before we start, I always like to play a quick game with everyone to break the ice. So I'm going to say one word, and I want you to say the first thing that comes to your mind when I say it, okay?
Sure, let's start.
Let's go. Success,
Happy.
happiness,
Family.
failure,
Dirty.
future,
Argentina.
risk.
Adventure.
Amazing. Okay, so now let's have the audience get to know you a little bit better. So maybe we can start with a quick intro to yourself, and then if you can, explain your Instagram bio to us.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. So my name is Julia, and I'm an entrepreneur, podcaster, and influencer in Middle East, and not just in Middle East, in global. So I traveling a lot and living everywhere. I'm nowhere and everywhere, you know. And as for my Instagram, I do so about my life like a movie. I treat my audience some moments like a movie because I share experience about lifestyle, about working routine, how I build my company every day, how I build podcast also every day, and some funny moments, lifestyle moments about Hong Kong, Dubai, Asia, a lot of countries, but the main point, how to keep going on and how to save the nature of myself.
Amazing. So you said you're everywhere and nowhere at the same time. Tell us where you started.
So I was born in Volgograd, you know, it's a little city in Russia. It's in the past it was Stalingrad. It's the most cruel city in the world because there was a big war. But now it's a very cute little city, and that's why I can describe my character as very strong because I was born there. After Volgograd, I moved to St. Petersburg, Moscow, and Europe. I have some, programs. I have some works in Europe, and after I moved to Dubai.
Okay, and then how did you get into the media, emerging technology, influencing space?
So, if honestly, for me, it's not like it's not a surprise. When I was 6 years old, yeah, I dream about to be a successful writer, author of some books, and I wrote my first book in 7. After my second book was in 21, etc., etc. And I dream about journalistic. I postgraduated university in journalistic, also an economist, but I work in media, in PR, in marketing more than 15 years. In my childhood, really. I started it so long times, and it's my pleasure, it's my work, and it's my like ecosystem of my world. That's why it's not just a job. It's not suddenly. It's usually routine.
Yeah. What did you write about?
What?
What did you write about?
Book or posts or what?
The book.
The book. The last book was wrote about 8 stories of love. So it's really true stories of my life, of my friends. It's like, of course, with my fantasy vision a little bit, but I released it a few years ago,
Yeah.
and it's a book about when you touch some story.
Yeah. Amazing. And what do you do now?
Nothing. But honestly, now I'm trying to be a sub on the wave because market is very flexible, especially for beer market in crypto, because I'm deeply involved in crypto, in fintech, and AI. And of course, I see the last months of this market, it's not good, it's not bad, but you need to survive. And of course, I continue to help in with PR, with communications in iGaming, in AI. I do strategy, I do some PR strategy and new vision of the brands and helping to grow up. Of course, my main point is building personal brands for companies and for individuals. And I run my podcast. I continue to run and influencing also every day, every time.
We'll get to your podcast in a little bit. I'm very interested to learn more about that. But just from observation, being a PR agency in this industry is very difficult. It's not easy at all. What was some of the biggest challenges you had in the beginning, and how did you overcome them?
If honestly, my main challenges, it's not competitors. My main challenges, it's lazy. I'm super lazy, and I'm always trying to wake up and say for myself, you need to do this. So if you want to build a successful company and team, you need to build every step. You needn't to be lazy. You need to be this big mindset and make routine, and it's very important.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, it's very nice to learn more about you. Let's move on to more about communications and communications today. PR, when we talk about press releases and media channels and distribution channels, how is it different today than it was 10 years ago?
It's not different. It's people are tired about sponsored articles, press release. People want to be natural, but you know that the PR companies can create an article, like organic article, but people need to pay for this because it's usually everywhere. For example, one company represent organic PR agency, but if honestly the client paid for this and they mentioned but not sponsored, but if honestly sponsored. And now it's very difficult to make organic, natural article interviews because all companies want to promote something. No one don't want just to share experience, a story. All journalists are hungry about the story, some tricky story, some real true. And the other side, journalists, don't trust some stories because sometimes they think that it's really promotion. That's why this is a market very difficult now. And what I see, what decision, trying to share really cool content, trying to share and pitch the journalists really nice stories and make a friendship and not just promote. And sometimes paid, yes, but trying to be more natural.
Do you think social media is more effective or PR?
I think social media is more effective. Yeah.
Why?
PR, because if you Google it, it depends of situation. For example, if some financial company, you need more PR. Forbes, Entrepreneur, Fortune, some TheBlock, for example, a lot of medias. But as for if you need to run booths, if you need to run iGaming, if you need more influencers, you need more texts about your company, you need more reels about this, and sometimes podcasts, some series of podcasts. That's why it depends on situation. If you're more focused of institutional, you need more PR, strong PR, but not social media. And it depends of the project.
Yeah. So back to what you were saying about your organic PR and paid PR, I think a lot of companies may be concerned that if they try to go for the organic, they're not going to get the same return. Sponsored, it's clear you pay this much, you get this much in return. So how do you think they can balance this?
So you need to, for example, 50-50. Because sometimes a company really needs to promote something. Okay, we make it sponsored. It's not bad, but it's not good if you make it every time. So trying to be like this and trying to pitch something, it's natural. Because of course some magazines don't want to post it for free because all want to earn the money. That's why you need to understand and be flexible.
Okay. And what trends do you think are shaping PR and media today?
Organically, naturally food.
Okay.
What does it mean? It does each of person who leading their company need to be more, organic. Don't waste time of journalists. Really share cool and really nice vibes of your mindset, of your companies, of your project. And my trend, I see that's a real trend, as for Instagrams everywhere, natural face, natural food, clean face, clean food, clean PR. Some not bad, not good situations, also share it. True life, true PR is much better than fake PR now.
Mm-hmm. Do you have an example of a really good PR that one of your clients maybe did?
Yeah, I have, but I have NDA I can share, but
Okay.
soon I can share. Yes, I have amazing one example. It's about how unsuccessful story becomes successful story. It's about this.
So sharing the failures as much as the success.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, so moving on, I want to talk a little bit about technology since you said you're involved in AI, in crypto. First, tell me, how are you involved? What are you doing in the space? What kind of technology are you using for your business?
So I use it a lot. I use AI tools. I use ChatGPT. I use some, artist.ai. I use DeepSeek. I use some AI platform for editing, for researching, for hiring, for digitalizing, analyzing a lot of things for AI. But I don't want to writing with ChatGPT. Sometimes I check with Grammarly something, but I don't want to use because I'm also writer. I writing a book. I writing the text from my childhood. I need on ChatGPT. If I compare the text, my text much better than ChatGPT.
Yeah.
But I use a lot of things. Also, I love technology. If you use AI technology in the right way, you are win. If you use everywhere without your personality, you lose.
Okay. Do you think AI is changing the media space?
Yep. Soon, maybe some journalists and some PR specialists no needed because AI can grab the world. I don't want to be in this situation, but I'm already there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. But I think it shows, no? Like, for me, when I read something, I can tell immediately if it's AI, I stop reading it. But if it feels human, you continue reading. So it just goes back to your point of the importance of writing something yourself. So you work with crypto companies, with tech companies, to help them with communications, right? Generally, their products or services are complicated. It's not easy for normal people to understand what they're doing. How do you translate that tech language into something that the general public will understand?
How I translate? So, for example, if I try to make the easiest way, for example, as a person or the public or some people don't understand about this, I try to translate from technical language for people language. So it's my job because I work in PR. It's my job to translate humanity. So from human language, it's my important way. I use some tools. It's not tools, I mean AI. It's I trying to explain easiest way. I trying to use some pictures, videos, some points, and make it like for children's.
Yeah.
Because all adult people like children.
Yeah. And just from what you're seeing from all your clients and different industries, which industry is emerging the most right now?
It's a good question. So, iGaming.
iGaming.
And some medtech, because they involve in AI a lot. Also, it's some AI tools, decisions for platforms, for crypto platforms, some tools also. Banking, also some banking, because they use a lot of AI and use a lot of crypto decisions.
Okay.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, let's go back to what is iGaming?
What is?
Yeah.
It's a Web3. It's a Web3 gaming with a lot of tools that people need to go to PlayStation, etc. So they use a laptop and earn the money, achieve some points, and the main idea to make entertainment, earn money, and get rewards.
Okay, why do you think it's emerging so much?
Because it's a lot of, you know, a lot of investments there, and they involve in emerging tech because they invest, they attract a lot of people there, and it's very, very, popular now, and it's developing very fast in
Yeah.
emerging tech.
Okay, amazing. So what would make a project stand out in the media today if we were to use the iGaming example? So I see a lot of gaming projects as well. We have a lot that come in through TheBlock. What do you think makes a project stand out to the public, especially considering the Web3 element? It has to be good enough for someone to, use a technology that they've never used before to play the game, right?
The name, right?
Yeah.
I think Farcana is good. They're developing so far, so very fast, and I'm really appreciated the project. And I see how the founder growing up. I'm really wow how it's happened. And they are based in Abu Dhabi now, and I see speaking. I see developing events, and not just developing. I see all around, as for PR, as for marketing, as for companies, for teams, etc. It's very, very fast and very, they are on the top.
Okay. All right. So moving on to yourself and the influencer life. Why did you decide to build a personal brand in the first place?
It's suddenly, so it's like accident.
Mm.
My friend told me that they need helping with a personal brand, but they don't want to be very public. And I think, how it's possible? You want to be a public, but you don't want to be a public. And he told me, please figure out something. I figure out shadow brand. So it's a very old idea to be a public brand, but in shadow. For example, if you don't want to go to events, some stages, etc., but you want to be mentioned everywhere, you want to be people. You want to be a person who attracts attention without presence in some places. And this is one idea how I started a personal brand, shadow brand, and public brand. So after this idea, I switch off on personal brand, and I realized that a lot of founders, a lot of companies, just good big company, but I don't know who's the founder. I want to understand who is this person, what's mindset of this person, and leadership opportunities, etc. I want to know. And after this, I just started to talk about this with founders, with C-level persons, and step by step, we started to start to building a personal brand. What's include? It's include not just do this or this. It's unpacking of the person, unpacking of the vision of the life. If it's not matching of my vision, it's not working. We need to create a strategy that match with him or with her. And after this vision, we start a communication strategy of PR, of podcasts, of stages, of online podcast, offline podcast, events where he or she speaking, some closed events, also magazines, interviews, articles, posts, AMA sessions, a lot of things. After this, we create the strategy and make the plan in 3 months, in 9 months, how we go in this way.
Okay. I want to go back to shadow branding because that's very interesting. How do you do that? How do you create presence without having presence?
So I have just 2 cases about this because it's the most difficult service that I have, because all people want to be present if they go to personal brand, but they interested what is shadow brand, because it's very interesting to sound interesting, right? But after people realize that shadow brand, so I will be in shadow, but what's the point for me? The point, if you needn't attention, you need just people want you, but you nowhere.
Yeah.
You're sitting in a room, and once in 1 year or twice in a year, your presence on the stage. But in this time, all people go to the place. So you make intriguing.
Create FOMO.
Yes. And you mention in Forbes, you mention in some magazines, but all mentioning not like mass media. It's very, very, directly. It's not like every day, everywhere. It's not noise.
Yeah.
It's confidence. It's very, calm.
Niche.
Yes.
Very interesting. That's a very interesting concept. Did you come up with it yourself?
What?
Did you come up with the concept yourself?
Yeah, it's my idea. You can't research it. You can start to Google it, but you can't find it. It's my idea. It's in my posts here, but I need to. To make
Write about it.
No, I can't remember what does it mean. So I need to buy. For any people can't use it.
Oh, patent it.
Yeah. So I can't remember what's the name of.
Yeah. Okay. So my final question on this topic, yourself and also for others, how would you balance your personal brand with your company? Thinking about how much time you put into each. Because obviously creating a personal brand, creating that content for your LinkedIn, your Instagram, it takes up a lot of time and energy, right? So how do you balance how much time you put into each?
I have business assistant.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay. Cool. So let's move on to your podcast, Revelations podcast. Tell us a little bit about what it is.
My name, not my name, name of my friend, Anastasia. And she, 3 years ago, she figured out the name of Revelations podcast. We have some strategy session with her, and she told me, Julia, you need to create podcast. And why? Because she's a journalist, said you need to continue your way. And okay, why not? So, and one evening, we decided to create podcast, and she told me, Revelations. And why Revelations? Because we reveal the individuals of each company, of nature of any individual, about business, about AI, about tech, about any. My podcast not about a person who involved in crypto. It's all, of course, not, beauty. Sometimes all interesting person who know that they share some cool story about their life.
Yeah.
That's why Revelations. And in the past, it was just 4 episodes, one podcast. 4 episodes, one topic. 4 episodes, one topic. But now it's just random persons that I like, and they share some stories. Sometimes they are crying. So my main point to make it's not about this. So make it true, hard stories.
Yeah. Very interesting. And why did you start it? What did you want to accomplish? What message do you want to give out to the world through the podcast?
My main message, people want to be success everywhere. And sometimes when we look at their Instagram or Facebook, LinkedIn, we look at their successful story, beauty, picture, videos, and things that, she's lucky, very easy way. And it's my main point to reveal this, and not about all this successful. It's not about happiness. Sometimes it's pain, and it's pain go inside, and it's sometimes it's back. We go in the back, very, very painful story. And I want to share, and I want to show the people that sometimes you need to jealous, sometimes you need to be like angry on some people. You need to see more deeply in the person. And if you're doing step by step every day your routine, you can achieve success whenever you want.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And in terms of podcasts becoming a part of media, what are your thoughts on that? How big do you think the podcast industry is?
Podcast industry is big. All people, I think, now make a podcast. 3 years ago, already a lot. But now, I think each person wants to make a podcast, create a podcast, Zoom, or Riverside, everywhere, offline podcast. It's a lot of competitors, and just, you need to be unique now for survive in this market now.
Yeah. And since there are so many podcasts, like you said, everyone has their own podcast now. How do you differentiate Revelations compared to other podcasts?
If honestly, in my podcast, I haven't competitors because a lot of girls' podcasts, business podcasts, etc. But my podcast, if you Google in YouTube, you can find because there are no Revelations podcast and no like these stories. But yes, similar, yes, but all mindset, no. No one podcast. I checked, no.
No.
Still no. Maybe one day.
Cool. And the final question. What do you think will become the next big communications trend that everyone will follow?
After Dubai chocolate. Okay, communication trend. It's a good question, but now it's natural everywhere. And all videos and text, etc., without mask, without filters. Maybe again, ecological and green. Eco communications in real communications, in videos, in posts. So more greeny.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. Very valid, very, very true. And to close off the podcast, we're gonna do this or that. Okay? So I'm gonna ask you, and you just answer quickly. Sure. Ready? Personal brand or company brand?
Personal brand.
Instagram or LinkedIn?
LinkedIn.
AI tools or human creativity?
Human creativity.
Viral moment or long-term reputation?
Long-term reputation.
Events or digital campaigns?
Events.
Startup founder or established brand?
Oh my God. Startup founders.
Luxury brand or emerging tech?
Emerging tech.
Podcast or social media content?
Social media content.
PR strategy or spontaneous storytelling?
PR strategy.
Dubai or another global tech hub? Both. And the final one, would you rather build the most influential tech PR agency in the world or host the most talked about tech podcast in the world? First one. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much for being with us today. It was such an honor to talk to you. And thank you for your insights and thank you for your time. And thank you guys for watching.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.